Governor Bob Ehrlich. Good day, doctors.
George Allen here. Good day, doctors.
Go.
You're watching Dr. Politics.
They're Dr. Politics. He's the one to see. Breaking down the news with sharp analysis. From Congress halls to campaign trails, he tells the truth when all else fails. They're Dr. Politics. Dr. Politics. Exposing the spin, the lies and tricks. Dr. Politics. Dr. Politics. He calls it straight, no politics as usual. Learn from backroom deals to primetime fights. He sheds some light and sets things right. Debates, elections, policy. He cuts through all the DC sleaze. Oh, Dr. Politics. He's got the facts. Dr. Politics. No holding back. Dr. Politics. Go away. Dr. Politics, he's got the facts. Dr. Politics, no holding back. Dr. Politics.
Good evening, everyone. It is Friday, Independence Day, July 4th. Welcome, everyone. We are Dr. Politics. We got our guest doctor tonight, Josh Nash. Josh is for several political campaigns in the great state of Maryland. He's a member of the PG County Central Committee. And we got David Shepard from the other side of the river. Welcome, everyone. Busy week. We got the big, beautiful bill got signed today, Josh.
Yes, we did.
And as a result, we've got tax cuts for working families. We've got tax cuts for people that work in the service industry. That people that are SEIU people. By the way, SEIU was very much against the big, beautiful bill, tax cuts. We've got, we've doubled the tax credits for families with children. We have the SALT deduction is up to $40,000. I know that's more important to folks like the New England states because it's a bigger deal like New York. I don't think there'd be a Republican left in the great state if the SALT deduction was not increased. We've got, they've increased the death tax, around 25 million. We got the auto loan interest deduction for an American-made car. So, Dave, if you go out and buy a Cadillac or any GM product or a Ford product or a Chrysler, well, it's just, I don't know, does Chrysler count as an American manufacturer because they're owned by Stellantis and they are owned by, they're part of the same Renault and Maserati and a bunch of other European manufacturers conglomerate now. By the way, did you guys know the Hornet is an Alfa Romeo with a Dodge badge on it? Yeah. So let's talk with the big beautiful bill. Dave, your thoughts? Josh, jump in.
Well,
it's very informal.
Well, I thought it was good. I'm glad it passed and keeps the Trump tax cuts. Also, money for border security. We avoid a budget deadline fight, ceiling fight. So overall, and the things you mentioned as well, in terms of no tax and tips and other things like that. So I think it was very good, very positive. And kudos to Mike Johnson for getting it done when no one thought it could be done this early. So great politics there, great political skill on his part. So overall, I think it's good.
I was saying a good job to our Congressman, Andy Harris, and the Freedom Caucus. Yes. They delivered. They voted for the big, beautiful tax cut.
Yeah.
You know, and I don't know why they call it the big beautiful bill. They really should call it the big beautiful tax cut bill.
Mm.
Now it's law, so it's the
Plus, when it comes to budget, big is not beautiful. So don't say that.
uh,
Slim is
yeah.
beautiful in that case.
By the way, I don't know if did you guys see the jets fly over? I was out around 5:30. I saw the stealth jets flying over. It was funny. There was like a No Kings rally going on at the corner, and I'm thinking like, "Oh, you missed."
That's funny. I heard liberals today were sheltering in place.
No. They were out I was out. Actually, Josh, where I dropped you off at the Forest Glen Metro, I was in that area around 4:30, 5 o'clock that time frame. And they were out there. No Kings, you know, and they were out there. I felt like yelling out the window.
Well, see, the thing is about Independence Day, it's independence from the King of England. But for them, they think Trump's the king. So.
Well, let me tell you what some of these clowns on Facebook are calling this. You've got this one clown calling it Happy National Caesar Salad Day. And let's see if I can do this. Don't want to. They've got a cartoon of the Constitution being turned into a little crown and cut up. And you know something? Here's this. If you guys really think President Trump's a king, well, I wouldn't be posting this on social media. The king's secret police may come out and drag you away at night and send you to Gitmo. I kid. We're not. There is no presidential secret police.
It's just amazing what all Trump's gone through, all the court fights, all of it, and then to say, well, he's like a king. And it's like so stupid.
Yeah. You know.
They tried to.
Did you guys also see because the filibuster was a leftover from the Jim Crow era, right?
Yes.
Hakeem Jeffries forgot about his tweets from several years ago. He was on the floor yesterday for 7 hours trying to stall this. Because you know their end game was, right? Their end game was this. We just don't want this to be done on the 4th. They just wanted to not get it done today. I think if they didn't get it done yesterday, this morning, the Congress would have been in session. And, you got to skip all those parades, members of Congress, like you were at a parade, I think, this morning, right? Were you in Annapolis for that, or the Dundalk parade? Did you go to that?
So I was not. Actually, my alarm never went off, so I did not go to that parade, unfortunately. But I know a lot of other people did go, and I heard it was great.
It comes around again next year, Josh. So
good. Oh, thank goodness.
It comes. But I was watching, C-SPAN, and as one of our crack writers at Direct Line News, Aaron Ackerman, I was about to send him a text. I go, hey, Aaron, you want to write a little thing up about this? And Aaron is, oh, here you go. Here it is. There's the end notes. There's the whole article. Like he got me that article by noon. So he must have been working on this since the morning when Hakeem started talking. And Aaron finished the article. Hakeem was still talking.
Oh, yeah.
And I don't know if you guys saw Chris Blumenthal fly off the handles the other day when it passed the Senate. Chuck Schumer, our own gift that keeps on giving. Jamie Raskin was all upset about this is a horrible bill. Horrible bill.
Oh, yeah.
They're all against. What do they have against working families, Josh? I don't get that.
I don't think it's only that, though. I think what it is it clearly, Raskin and the other ridiculous Democrats are against Medicaid work requirements. I don't see what's wrong with it. Clearly, I mean, the Medicaid work requirements as specified in the bill and you can only say it till you're blue in the face, is only for people who are, it's to root out waste, fraud, and abuse, first of all.
Yeah.
Shouldn't we be all for that, first of all, number one? Number two, if you're able-bodied, or if you're, excuse me, if you're disabled, or if you're not able-bodied, then you're exempted for them. But if you're someone who's, able-bodied, shouldn't you be working? Absolutely. I don't have anything wrong with that. But clearly Democrats and Raskin do. Don't know why. I'll never understand why. I think it's part of their agenda, clearly. And we've seen that time and time again. So
I mean, they
Well,
can clean parks. We've got. I know you're new to Maryland. I don't know if you've been to Ocean City yet. It's a cultural mecca for the state of Maryland. It's got the best pizza places in the entire state, all in one area.
yeah, but I would say the other thing about this aspect is, yeah, they didn't like, the alleged Medicaid cuts and all. But remember, there was also money for border security. They don't like that.
yeah,
There's also money for, as Dwight mentioned, in terms of tax credits and tax cuts, no tax and tips. They don't like that. So I think Republicans can hammer them on the good things in the bill, which they voted against too.
I think they basically view all the good things in the bill as bad because they're losing control of their base. I mean, I don't know when. I must have blinked, and now the Democrat Party is the party of billionaires, millionaires, and billionaires. Frankly, they don't want the working people to have a break. They don't want to give the working folks a break. It's funny how a billionaire has to come into the White House to give the working folks a break. I mean, the Democrat Party, they used to be the party of big labor and unions and they used to be for the little guy.
Yeah.
I believe the mask has been taken off. They're not for the little guy, they're for the big guy.
Yeah.
I mean, what was Joe Biden's nickname, Josh?
The big guy.
I thought it was Sleepy Joe, but I could be wrong.
Yeah.
No, big guy. Remember when Hunter
Yeah,
would
the
send
big
a
guy.
text,
10% the big guy.
big guy.
Right. That's right.
10%, and he
But
wasn't
Sleepy
talking
Joe's a
about-
good nickname too.
I am surprised they didn't try. That Hunter Biden didn't try to spin it like. Well, I meant for the big guy upstairs, tithing 10% tithe, 10%.
Yeah.
But they're a bunch of atheists, God-hating people, so they would never think of that.
Yeah.
But we've had.
Biden made an appearance. He made a sighting in San Diego the other day. He spoke. He spoke to an HR group, and I don't know if they paid him.
Was it Sherm?
Yeah, I think so. And anyway, I thought that was stunning, telling his remarks. Two things. I won't go through both, but first one, he says that world leaders apparently want him to be more engaged.
They didn't want him to be engaged when he was president. Why do they want him to be more engaged now that he's not president?
No, nobody wants him out speaking, even those that agree with him. Nobody wants him to be more engaged.
The Democrats don't want him out speaking.
I know. That's what I mean. That's why it's delusional for him to say, yeah, they think I should be more engaged. No, they don't.
Yeah. Joe.
Yeah, he's out of it.
Take a nap.
Yeah.
But another piece of news that came out this week, unemployment's down. Inflation's under control.
Yep.
Those guys at CNN and MSNBC, they were a little heartbroken when those numbers came out. And I believe it was MSNBC, one of the gals there said, I guess we can still say gals, right, Josh? I mean, as we refer to the anchorettes at MSNBC. But one of them said, well, this is just a result of the Biden economic juggernaut that was going during the Biden president. I'm like, how do you say that stuff with a straight face?
Yeah.
There was no joy in Mudville under Joe Biden. I hate to say it. Was it Joyce Kilmer that did Casey at the bat? I think so.
Well, I think officially now that we've got this passed, I think, yes, now definitely you're looking more at the Trump economy. I think we already were, but especially now as this starts to take hold. So, yeah, this is good. This is Trump's way of really making a mark and Republicans making a mark on the economy. So I think this will be good. But remember, you also had this week good economic news. Unemployment, we gained 147,000 jobs.
Yep.
More than expected. and
And by the way, these are real jobs, Dave. These aren't the people that weren't working that decided to start going back to work.
right,
These
exactly.
are real brand
Right.
jobs.
Yeah, that was the thing with the whole COVID thing when Biden would count all these jobs created. No, we just reopened the economy. When you reopen the economy, people come back to work. And then he counts those as jobs created. Those aren't really jobs created.
But Josh, you might remember, you were probably young during the Obama years. But do you remember when, the CBO scored his budget as being horrible, blah, blah, blah?
I don't know.
Yeah, basically, I want to say it was either they basically were scoring Obamacare and how it would basically bankrupt the country and it'd be horrible for the country, which it was. And back then they go, oh, the CBO isn't the gold. And all of a sudden now the CBO is the gold standard again. I mean, you can't have it both ways. Yeah, they were talking about the CBO not scoring the big, beautiful bill as high as they should have. And I think that's probably done by a lot of Biden holdovers who are still working there, frankly.
Yeah, probably.
They cooked the books, just like they cooked the books for Barack Obama in 2012, saying that the economy was growing when it wasn't. Unemployment was was going up because they didn't use the U6 number. They basically, exempted that. So it's, yeah.
Plus, they don't really count the potential economic growth of policy changes.
Mhm.
So that's a lot of it, too.
So, but,
But I don't know what you guys think about just the sheer pace of Trump's successes or his energy and the things he's been doing over the last 6 months. I mean, this is more than Biden's done in 4 years easily. I just think on foreign policy front, in terms of smacking down Iran, destroy the program instead of continuing these silly negotiations in terms of economic policy, getting this done, this budget done earlier. I mean, he's just been a dynamo. I mean, he's tearing the place up.
Mm-hmm. And then you got you've got foreign policy success. I mean, he's got some trade deals. I don't know why they're not publicized. They're not singing from the rooftops about the trade deals he's gotten with countries like India, China, the British Empire. Why has he not done that? Frankly.
Well, in a way, maybe it's so many good things to report. How do you keep up all this?
Yeah. And then you got the gaggles at MSNBC and CNN and the alphabet soup networks. That can't.
They're so bad. They're so bad.
They're so bad as in they hope and pray that the economy crashes.
Yeah.
Remember that's what Barack Obama said, Republicans were talking the economy into a recession?
Yeah.
I see when Chuck Schumer and Tom Daschle did that to President Bush.
Yeah.
But
well, they also try to talk up inflation. I've heard all this year how these tariffs will lead to all this inflation. I haven't seen the inflation. It's come down.
I'm able to fill up my Cadillac with under $60, and that's a win. When I can fill it up for less than 60, it's a win.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So, Josh, what are your thoughts as a young person who's probably affected by a lot of the Biden shenanigans?
I would say, listen, I would say regarding, at least, what I've seen, at least as far as the border goes, explicitly, that's been a big concern of mine. It is very true, what Secretary Noem said, that border crossings are down. I mean, whether you want to say ifs, buts, or ands, go ahead, but border crossings are down. I mean, we've had so many countless illegals enter the country under the Biden-Harris. I'm not going to call it administration. I'm going to call it the Biden-Harris regime because that's what it was. So under the Biden-Harris regime, we had so many illegals, human trafficking happen at the border. They could have stopped it. And Biden kept going back and forth, playing this little tit for tat game. And then when Lincoln Riley ended up dying due to his policies, it was no accountability.
They can't even say her name.
No, they can't even say the poor woman's name. So I will say border crossings are down. And I will say I'm very happy with the with the low border rate and the all the illegals leaving our country. I'm very happy, very pleased and happy with that.
Deportations are up under the Trump administration, which is a good thing. Uh, even that man from El Salvador who was illegally living in Maryland.
The Maryland man. The Maryland man.
He's now Salvadorian man.
Yeah.
But, you know, I think Dave, you probably remember the show. Josh is probably too young to remember Man from U.N.C.L.E.
I do remember the show, but that may be a little early for me too, as well. I don't think I saw. I heard of it, but I don't think I ever saw it.
Well, here's something. You know the character Megatron from the old school Transformers.
Mm.
He was actually in Japan. He was known as Uncle Big Gun because that was the same kind of gun the guy from Man from U.N.C.L.E. had.
Okay.
Yeah.
You pointed out, not to interrupt, but now we're talking cartoons. Ben Shapiro was on a cartoon or a voice.
Yeah, Josh probably remembers watching Ben Shapiro. Did you watch Arthur growing up?
I did not.
You did not watch Arthur? The Aardvark?
Nope.
Having fun with the library card and all that fun stuff?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Well, Arthur's friend, the Brain, was played by Ben Shapiro.
I did not know that.
That was the voice, yeah.
Interesting.
No wonder he was the voice of reason. You know, there's a reason he was the voice of reason.
I didn't realize that Ben Shapiro was that voice.
Yeah. Sadly, Josh, you grew up in an era when cartoons were really bad, very bad. Dave and I grew up in the golden age of cartoons. We had Transformers on TV. We had Voltron. We had, and by the way, Matt Waters, if you're watching, the Lion Voltron sucked. The car Voltron was awesome. He looked like a majestic samurai. And then what was the other big shows growing up? I didn't like Inspector Gadget. Did you like that?
No, not really. But do you remember the Great Space Coaster? That kids show? Great.
Yes, I did. I did not like that.
I didn't either, but I remember that as a kid for school, getting ready. Great Space Coaster.
Do you remember Captain 20 on Channel 20?
I do remember Captain 20. He's cool. My father worked with him, knew him. Because my father was in TV in DC, so knew him.
You know, he was also Count Corvidal. Like Halloween, they used to run all the old Dracula movies, the Frankenstein movies, and he would host it.
Well, do you remember the TV legend Willard Scott? Willard Scott was the first
Ronald McDonald.
Yes, he was. It was Willard Scott.
Josh is getting bored. Who are these people?
Yeah, sorry. Josh wouldn't know these ones, but anyway, sorry.
Like Willard Scott was Ronald McDonald, like probably 3 generations before the Ronald McDonald
Yeah.
Enjoy his Happy Meals.
You don't see, the thing about McDonald's, they don't bring these characters out. They're Hamburglar and all these other great characters they had.
Yeah, I noticed that too. I was wondering what's going on with that.
And even Ronald McDonald, very rarely you see Ronald. Occasionally you'll see a statue or something.
I haven't seen him in years, to be honest with you, and I'm wondering, like, what's going on with that?
Yeah,
you think the Burger King's secret police took out Ronald?
I mean,
I haven't seen the Burger King guy either.
What do you think was the Dairy Queen?
Yeah.
What do you think was the Dairy Queen?
Maybe Dairy Queen did something. I don't know.
Or Wendy, Wendy, she.
Oh yeah.
Wendy.
Yeah, she looks all innocent and all that, but she may have. I don't know if you guys ever watch Adult Swim on Cartoon Network.
Nope.
They had Ronald McDonald's funeral there, and Mayor McCheese. Was that his name? The Mayor McCheese, was that his name? The mayor. He was like a cheeseburger. But he was doing the eulogy, and he goes, he went so soon, and somebody else makes a comment, goes, well, you think eating McDonald's 3 times a day, he would have been gone long before this.
Yeah.
And basically, Hamburger is taking over because he goes, I know things. I've got secrets. So he was going to be the new head. And then the Burger King comes by and does like a drive-by shooting and kills all the McDonald's characters. But
it was, but I always I like those old characters, but you don't see
didn't
that
they
anymore.
bring Grimace back a few years ago because he had a shake
I'm
that
not
looked
sure.
positively disgusting?
I'm not sure. I haven't seen those folks, so I think that's too bad. Those were good ones. And as far as Wendy's go, Wendy was Dave Thomas's daughter, but her name wasn't Wendy, but that was a nickname for her, so it became.
Well, you know, Dave Thomas and Wendy's, they were big supporters of the Free Congress Foundation. Dave.
Oh, were they good? Good. Dave Thomas was a great guy. I read his book. Not to waste your time with non-political stuff, but while we think about it, I bought his book, and Dave Thomas was quite a businessman. He started off really. He was adopted, a tough childhood, but did very well for himself. Very good businessman, and he started out with the Colonel Sanders, working for Colonel Sanders with KFC, which is Kentucky Fried Chicken then. And in Columbus, Ohio, he took over one of the big shops and turned it around, and then did that with the other KFCs, and so really became quite good at the business. And my final story is that the bucket, you know how they have the bucket circling and it was tilted? That was Dave Thomas's idea, to have the bucket, the circling bucket over the restaurant.
So you're getting a history lesson here, Josh. KFC doesn't even use the bucket anymore, do they? Like on their signs?
I think they do. I think that you can still get a bucket of chicken.
No, you can get a bucket, but the signs are now just the rectangular signs. They're not the bucket. Remember the bucket?
Oh, that's right. That's right. Yeah, the KFC sign is, and it was Kentucky Fried Chicken then. Remember, I knew it as Kentucky Fried Chicken when I was Josh's age coming up. But
remember when it became Gino in our area?
Fried. They decided the word fried is politically incorrect. So,
is that why is fried?
Well, fatty food. They didn't want to say we're fried. The fried.
It has a better ring than Kentucky boiled chicken, you know.
Mm-hmm.
But Josh, what's your favorite fast food place? Since we're talking about fast foods,
honestly, I would say probably Checkers at this point.
Oh yeah,
really? Are they still around? Only Checkers I know is the one I see when I go to NASA over on Greenbelt Road.
There's one in Manassas, and there's one in Prince George's County. There's one off not Indiana Highway, that other big main road right through
road.
Oxon Hill.
Oh, there's one in Oxon Hill?
Yeah, there was.
Bojangles in Oxon Hill too.
There's one on Landover Road too.
What's that?
There's one on Landover Road too.
Yeah.
What, a Bojangles or
a Checkers?
Oh, Checkers, yeah.
I love Bojangles for the sweet tea. They had the best sweet tea at Bojangles.
I really think they should have called it Mr. Bojangles, not just Bojangles.
I agree with you.
They could have done the time with Bob Dylan or Sam Davis Jr. Either one. Two people that Josh has never heard of.
Mr. Bob Dylan? Who knows Dylan?
I mean, Josh, you're technically a post-millennial, right?
I was born in 99.
Oh, you're a millennial.
Okay, yeah.
So you're a millennial, not a post-millennial. So, yeah.
Well, you know, Josh is 1 year younger than that commie mayor candidate in New York, Memdami. He was born 91.
Oof.
And let's talk about...
Oh, no, 91. Excuse me. I got that wrong. Sorry.
Let's talk about Mr. Memdani.
Oh, God. We have
I wrote a column about him. And
the guy is a communist.
Well, let me just make one point. I wrote a column about him on my Substacks. And the thing that struck me is, you know, he wants to be the mayor of New York. New York City is the world capital of finance. How can you want to run that city when you're a communist?
Yeah, and you've got...
And he doesn't like billionaires. Well, you know what? If you're going to be a capital of finance, you're going to have a lot of billionaires. You're not going to be able to do it with just millionaires.
I mean, his collective... he wants to do collective... what do you call it? He wants to do city-run grocery stores.
Yes.
Doesn't he also want to do collective rooftop gardening also?
I think, what about those Lubit places where you get my oil change? I'm getting ripped off of those places all the time. Maybe if the city-run grocery store works, they can do the city-run oil change place.
Oh, don't give him ideas, Dave. Do not give him ideas.
Yeah.
You know, I think This guy is, and the guy is also an anti-Semite. He is a card-carrying member of Hamas. He is an anti-Semite. I cannot believe he won that primary.
I can't either.
Well,
I mean,
it was a smaller turnout. I mean, keep it in fairness to New York, it's a crazy whack job city, but
okay, I'm not okay. And let me just say this before I say the next line. I know he is not Adolf Hitler, but you know the Nazi Party only got there was a low turnout. They won 2% of the Bundestag, and that's all it took to take over Germany and go down that really bad road that we all do not ever want to go down. So I mean, this is what you get when you stay home.
yeah, that's right.
One of our writers is Jacob Silver. He's from Manhattan, and he was telling me his dad's going to move to Long Island or Connecticut if this guy gets elected.
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, a lot of people may leave, and you think about it. I mean, if you're a billionaire, you got assets, he's going to go after you. At least tax.
I mean, it's kind of like Maryland here. Martin O'Malley drove out all the millionaires and billionaires.
Yeah.
Larry Hogan came in, and some of the millionaires decided, okay, we'll stick around for a little while. Now, Wes Morris is telling all the millionaires, go pound sand and get out of my state, so to speak, because all the new taxes. And
well, think about
this. We had
think about it this way. He likes the people that need a free ride to work and help with childcare. There's nothing wrong with those folks. Those are good, virtuous folks. But he doesn't like the billionaires. But the thing is, who's going to drive your economy? It's going to be the billionaires. It's not going to be people like me. It's not going to be people that need a free bus ride to work. They're not going to lead the economy. They're not going to lead you to prosperity.
And let me just share something. This past Tuesday, July 1, we had, and this is just a short list of fees and taxes that we're paying. Dave, if you buy a Coke in Maryland now, Coca-Cola, it will cost you 6% more because now we are adding a sales tax to soda.
Yeah, that's horrible.
We've more than doubled our emissions fees from $14 to $30.
Oh,
Also, it's $5 fee for every tire that's sold.
What is it?
Because car tires. Because car tires weren't expensive enough as it was, right, Josh?
Yeah.
exactly.
There is a retail delivery fee they're going to charge for, this goes to everything we buy. Prime Days starts this week. And our vehicle registration title fees have gone up. It used to be historical tags. You didn't have to do emissions, and it was like $3 to get historical tags. Now it's going to cost you the same as it would cost if you had a brand new car. It's basically, there's a 2% surcharge on capital gains. They've raised the state income tax. And then we have a tech services fee, 3%. If this is not flashing a great big, don't ever move to Maryland sign, I don't know what is.
Yeah.
Hey, Josh, are you longing for New York yet with all the taxes and fees we have? Where I don't think the state of New York is taxing your Amazon deliveries yet.
I don't know what they're doing up in New York, as I've kind of been out of touch. But I mean, I'm pretty sure.
Josh, we're Republicans, we're always out of touch,
But I'm pretty sure, based on those numbers alone, I mean, the message is quite clear, right? I know people that I have shown this exact graphic to people in other states that I know. I've even shown it to my girlfriend who's not even from this state. And, I've even said, this is exactly why I've said no more. We don't need this leadership anymore. Something's got to change. No more. Something's got to change. because
And
the graphic you just put up and all those fees in there and all of that, that's ridiculous. I mean, we're already being taxed to death, and now we're going to be even taxed further to death. So congratulations to everyone who contributed to that, because now you
that'd be
just
every
made
single
the
Democrat in
cost
the
of
state
living
of
higher.
that'd be every single Democrat in the state, including Delegate Brian Crosby. Did you know what Brian Crosby did because of the tech services sales tax? He moved his business to Virginia, and I believe he is moving to Virginia after his term is up.
Wow.
And
So
wasn't
Brian
he the
Crosby-
author? He's the author of the tax code, is he not?
Yes, he is.
Jesus.
He
You
voted
can't make
for
this up.
and he's leaving. Yes, Delegate Brian Crosby of St. Mary's County in Calvert. I think he's got parts of Calvert too. So let's find a good candidate because I think we can take this seat back. Because this used to be that used to be Deb Ray's old seat, the Republican seat. So, and by the way, Dave, I have not forgotten about Virginia. You guys have a lot of crazy new taxes going up. I hope your voters understand that Winsome Sears is the only thing that stands between crazy Virginia legislators and her, and basically the Virginian families.
Yeah, I agree.
The thing is, you know that what do you call what is that crazy woman that's running for governor?
Oh, I know exactly who you were talking about, and I can't.
Yeah, she used to be in Congress. She told I remember she famously told Democrats, "Stop talking about."
Yeah, that's
woke
Spanberger. Yeah,
Yeah.
Spanberger's the Democrat nominee. So Winsome, I saw her earlier this week. She was at a rally. The best speech I heard her give. So I think she's really stepping it up, and so I think she can win it. The thing is, when I was Josh's age in Virginia, we had Democrats, of course, but they were moderate, centrist type. It was a moderate party. But today, Virginia Democrats in the legislature are no more to the right than Maryland Democrats. They're just as
By the way,
not.
when I was growing up, Dave, in Maryland, we had moderate Democrats too.
Yeah. Yep. So
And
the thing
PG
is,
County had 2 elected Republicans that represented the state house.
that's right. And I remember Connie Morella for all those years in Montgomery County.
Yeah, District 8. Then and she played really nice with the Democrats, and they still shafted her during redistricting, gave her PG County, and then she lost, and then they took it out after Chris Van Hollen became the Congress person or congressman.
But you're correct. Now, when Youngkin goes, because he can't succeed himself, he can't run again.
Chris who?
Chris Van Hollen. He used to be the
Chris who? I haven't seen him around. Just kidding. I'm messing with you.
He's going around campaigning for Westmore around the country for president.
Well, and he goes to Honduras or El Salvador to go to see the Maryland man, his constituent.
Yes.
Well,
having margaritas with that El Salvadorian man.
Well, so we need Winsome to keep a check, like you said, on at least the Democrats.
And I tell you, Jason Morales and is it John Rich?
Well, John Reed. John Reed's our
John Reed. Yeah. They have to win.
Yeah.
I
agree. Yeah, because otherwise we'll be in the same position as Maryland, and then where will Marylanders go to escape? See, at least
North Carolina, Pennsylvania,
Florida.
No, there's a quote. By the way, Josh, there's a quota now. Governor DeSantis is not giving any more visas or refugee status to Marylanders to come. If you're a Democrat and you want to move to Florida, you're not going to get a visa approval. They're building a customs house at all entries into the state of Florida. Florida does have something similar to a customs house on all their borders. It's to check produce coming in and leaving. So years ago, long before, I think Dave and I may have been 5 or 6 years old when Governor Moonbeam, Jerry Brown, was the governor of California.
Yep.
And they had a invasion of the Mediterranean fruit fly, which decimated the orange crop in California. After that, Florida constructed these so they basically inspects to make sure there's no fruit flies coming into Florida to ravage their orange crops and other crops going on, or invasive species. And it goes the other way around too, because you don't want to take like one of those palmetto bugs and bring them up here. Those are disgusting. They're basically flying cockroaches, and they don't scatter when the lights are turned on either. But they shouldn't go to Florida. Maryland should go to California. The socialist utopia, where every lever of power is controlled by the Democrats. Go to California. They'll appreciate they're losing numbers. They're probably going to lose a congressional seat at the 2030 census, maybe more if lucky.
Well, what do you mean, California losing population?
Yeah, a lot of people moving to Texas and Nevada and Idaho. But Idaho,
yeah, it's growing like crazy.
I just want to touch on this. I am so disappointed in that prosecutor who decided to cut it. This is the guy that murdered 4 college kids.
Oh, yes.
And he cops a plea.
Yeah.
Idaho has a firing squad still. Did you know that?
I didn't know that. I thought Utah still has a firing squad, but I didn't know.
Idaho, or is it hanging? One of them. They got a public hangings or I think they may have both in Idaho, public hangings and firing squads.
Oh, yeah.
By the way, I'm not against firing squads. By the way, that's just me.
Yeah.
It
seems to me that would be a great deterrent, a better deterrent.
Mm-hmm.
You're going to get a firing squad. Okay.
Yeah. Remember the A-Team got the firing squad? Remember that? Do you remember that?
I don't remember that episode.
The last season of the A-Team, they got caught and they had a trial and then they were put to death by firing squad.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, then they went to go work for who's the guy that he was from he was a famous guy. He wears dark sunglasses. He died recently. Robert Conrad, is that the guy? I don't know. Hold on.
Maybe.
I'll find his name. He's the guy. I think he was in Avengers, maybe.
So they give you a blindfold, a cigarette, and
yeah, he was running basically the CIA. The A-Team was hired by the CIA, so they went around doing stuff for the CIA instead of people that paid him anymore. And they had like a nice setup in Langley. They moved the show to Langley. And I think what do you call it? But it's yeah. But yeah, the guy, it basically he was.
What type of deal was? What type of deal did the prosecutor?
Life in prison, no parole.
So, but is this a George Soros prosecutor or not? Not a George Soros.
It's Idaho. I hope not.
I wouldn't think in Idaho, a George Soros type prosecutor. Although George Soros prosecutor may not even agree to a life in prison.
Yeah, they will go for full acquittal.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's a really sad day. And okay, I don't know the way to find the guy's name.
Well, that's okay. But Idaho is a fast-growing state. Part of it is the LDS Church, and part of it is just it's a great place to live, and people want to move there.
Yep, and but yeah, I mean it's Robert Vaughn. That's who I was thinking. Robert Vaughn.
Mm-hmm.
He was the guy that was in head of the CIA. But as we.
Well, it's a tough place, I know, with Maryland, but Josh is in a particularly tough place, probably in Prince George's County. I don't know if there are any Republican areas, would you say, or precincts in PG County that you'd say that's pretty Republican.
Well,
I'm not sure, to be honest with you. We're pretty heavily Democrat.
Bowie? Bowie,
Bowie,
maybe.
and there used to be a place called Kettering. I don't know exactly where that was. I don't know exactly where it was, but in 1992, Michelle Dyson ran, and she actually won the Kettering precinct over
Okay.
Albert Wynn. Didn't make much of a difference. She got 27% of the vote in District 4, which is a minority district. But Michelle, great candidate, great campaigner,
Whatever happened to Albert Wynn?
He was defeated in a primary by a socialist, and I think she ran for the Senate too.
All right.
I'm trying to think of her name. Josh, you don't remember her name, do you?
No.
Yeah.
Is that
Yes.
her?
But what are they saying about your new county executive, Michelle Braveboy? Or is it Aisha Braveboy? What's her first name?
Aisha.
Aisha.
We are toast. That's all I gotta say. We're screwed.
Yeah. Somebody told me, they go, hey, she's not as bad as Angela Alston-Brooks. I'm like, that's not a ringing endorsement.
Doesn't make me feel any better.
You know what it's like? It's kind of like somebody goes, Mussolini was not as bad as Hitler was.
What
Right.
about
Kind
was
you know.
Rashern Baker as bad? I remember Rashern Baker.
Okay, the best Democrat PG County has had. Donna Edwards, by the way, is her name. Donna Edwards.
Oh, I remember her. Yes, I remember her.
But Glenn Ivey holds that seat now. But the best PG County Democrat there was probably Wayne Curry.
Yes, yeah. Wayne Curry wasn't bad. No,
Wayne Curry actually endorsed Governor Ehrlich for governor in 2002, 2006, and 2010.
Yeah, that's right. No, he wasn't bad. But the last white board executive of PG County was Paris Glendenning.
Yes, county executive. Yes, we don't call them board. We don't call them board supervisors here. We call them
county.
We call them county executives.
Yeah, Paris Glendenning. But Wayne Curry was fine. He was good for Democrat. He wasn't that bad.
Well, you know who else was county executive? Larry Hogan Sr.
Oh, really? He was also a congressman, right?
Yes, he was. A congressman who voted against who was going to vote to impeach President Nixon.
That's right. Yeah.
And Audrey Scott was the mayor of Bowie, and she was also on the county council. I think. Did you come down to Reagan Day, Dave, for pizza and politics? For Reagan Day in January.
I did.
That was Audrey Scott. She was the mayor of Bowie and the last PG County member of council.
Okay.
Yeah. And if she didn't run for county executive, she'd still be on the council because they loved her out there.
Okay.
So how's that for a little history of your esteemed county?
I like it. That's good.
I remember when Fairfax, Virginia had 3 or 4 Republicans on the Board of Supervisors.
Yeah, we had the board for a brief time when I was a young adult with Tom Davis. We took over a majority of the board.
Yeah, Joan Dubois, was that her name?
Yeah, she was kind of squishy, but I remember her.
Oh, I didn't like her. I did not like her. Because we put together a promise for Fairfax when Gary was running for Board of Supervisors chairman.
Yeah.
She basically goes to me, well, I don't know if I'm going to say, it sounds very anti-incumbent, and I'm an incumbent. What, you should be lost.
Yeah, she was bad.
Pat Hardy was the only one that won that year.
Yeah.
Is John Fry still, are the Frys still around? John and Michael Fry?
John retired. He was the clerk of the court for like 20 years.
Yeah.
And retired.
What about Michael Fry?
No, Michael Fry retired. He was a liberal Republican, and I don't know if he became a Democrat at the end.
No, not Michael Fry. Did he?
No, not. Michael Fry. He beat in 91. We had Robert Stuber. Mm-hmm. Robert was a conservative candidate. Fry beat Stuber, and Fry kept the seat for many years. Fry finally retired. I don't know if he. He's a moderate, squishy Republican. I don't know if he became a Democrat or at the end or not. I don't know. Wouldn't surprise me.
He was really helpful to the Bay's campaign.
Okay, good.
unlike some other squishy members of your board of supervisors, looking at you, Sharon. Yeah.
Yeah.
You also you had some great people on the board of supervisors that you had. I mean, that was the year Valley Dietrich Hall ran. She ran out in the Falls Church area. But Josh, you know how we have district numbers in Maryland? They named their districts in Fairfax County. Like they got Drainsville.
Yeah.
They've got
Huh.
Herndon. Yeah, I think we should start naming our districts too, frankly.
Yeah, but the Wokesters took over. We used to have the Lee district. They took over that.
Did they get rid of the Lee district? Did they rename
they
it?
renamed it. It was
Anna
named for
Lee.
Fitzhugh. It was named for Fitzhugh Lee, who was a former Virginia governor, who was a cousin of Robert E. Lee. But Fitzhugh fought in the Civil War. Anyway, they changed that. Yeah.
Well, in Montgomery County, we have a school named E. Brookley named for a Democrat, Blair. He was related to Democrat Governor Blair Lee.
Yes.
And they want to rename that school. Hell, they want to rename my high school, Montgomery Blair, to something else. They say Montgomery Blair was a slave owner. I don't think President Lincoln was going to have a postmaster general who was a slave owner in his administration.
Yeah.
That's just a wild shot in the dark. I know he
Yeah.
had the team of rivals, but I don't think he was going to bring a slave owner into his cabinet.
Yeah.
I could be wrong, but I don't think so.
Yeah, it's silliness, really.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's very costly. They change these names. It costs a lot of money. And the thing is, does it make the school any better? I mean, you spend $80,000 or something to change the school's name. And
Dave, Josh, you guys remember that show Last Man Standing with Tim Allen? They had an episode on there where there was this black school teacher. They were going to rename Lewis and Clark Elementary School because one of them was I guess slave owner, or he said something bad about Native Americans, something like that. But anyways, the black teacher's like, no, you know how much money it costs to change all the names and the murals and this and that? She goes, I'd rather have that money go into the classroom than go to changing signs, frankly. And that makes, but you should catch that show, Josh. It is hilariously funny, and most of the people on the show are Republicans. Tim Allen's a Republican. He's not the butt of every joke either.
I'll check it out.
Yeah, and he's got a new show where he's also a Republican, shifting gears on ABC.
okay, good.
What, did you know Reba McEntire was a Republican? I just learned that recently.
I'm not surprised.
Yeah, Reba McEntire, Republican. But anyways, what else do we have this week? We had, it's like, I think the temper tantrum of the Democrats, that took up most of the week. I mean, but did Steny Hoyer have a temper tantrum, or is he just taking a nap somewhere?
I didn't hear anything of him on the floor.
He's been very quiet about everything, and it's like, is he afraid of being primary?
Hopefully he does. Oops, did I say that out loud?
And I tell you, because his district is not as wildly blue as he is.
Oh, is it really? I don't know. I met Michelle Talkington, who ran against him last time. Very nicely.
I think Josh was her campaign manager.
Okay. No,
Okay.
I was not. I actually was not. I was on her campaign, and I'm going to tell you that Michelle was a fighter. She was a great fighter. I was honored to be on her campaign.
Yeah, no, I liked her. I thought she was. Yeah, I thought I had good views of her. So, but you say the district's not as bad as he is, or it's not quite as.
It's not crazy blue. Okay. This is Maryland we're talking about, Dave. So, it's the Democrats that live in southern Maryland, like St. Mary's, because that's also part of Hoyer's district, St. Mary's, Charles County.
Yeah,
and Charles County used to be a reliable red county, believe it or not.
Yeah,
then
Charles.
People PG County people started moving down into Charles County and turned it blue.
Okay.
I mean, it's like Frederick County. It used to be a reliable Republican county. Now all the Montgomery County people moved up there and turned it blue.
Yeah. I just wondered what ruined Charles County, because I always knew Charles County to be pretty good. Politically, it was fine.
It used to be. I mean, it used to be really good, very reliable. I think in 2002 they voted for Bob Ehrlich for governor, not
Okay.
Paris Bandeni.
All right.
But demographics changed. And also we have a big influx of illegal aliens in Maryland too. That also offsets the demographics. And a lot of these woke kids coming back home, and they are voting the wrong way.
Yeah.
But we are getting real close to final thoughts. So this is Josh. This is the segment where we get to talk about whatever we want to talk about. You could talk about the pizza last night at Mama Lucia's if you'd like.
Oh, the pizza was great.
And it's more than one topic, so you can talk about as many things. It's kind of like the speaker's minute.
The pizza was great. I loved it.
It is one of the best pizza places in Maryland.
Masoni's?
No, Masoni's is on a whole different plane. This is Mama Lucia's.
Oh, that's where I went, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
But I think Three Brothers is better.
Agree.
Well, Mama Lucia's was good. I like the pizza.
Oh, it's really good. I mean, it's top tier. It's in our top 10.
All right, it's good.
Pizza places. There used to be a couple of places in College Park that were really good. Ratsy's, Purple Penguin. And now Purple Penguin's gone. It's a Chinese restaurant now. Ratsy's is gone. Now it's at Polio Loco or whatever the chicken place is. Don Pablo. No, what's that chicken place where all the young folks like Polio Loco or whatever? They're like I think they're South African. I think the chain, and they got like a sauce they sell on the retails, but they're in there now. And Pizza Kingdom is still pretty good down there too. But I don't mean to cut into your time, Josh. Final thoughts. Go. Yeah.
Well, I just wanted to say thank you, Dwight, for having me on the podcast. I definitely appreciate it.
Yeah, we'd love to have you on again more and more.
Yeah,
we'd love to have you
definitely.
on. Yeah. And aren't you working for some campaign that you should be mentioning their name a little bit? Some campaign. I don't know. Somebody running for governor or something.
I am not. I do not mention any of my campaigns on podcasts.
Okay, no problem. Well, I'll say it. Hey, check out John Myrick for governor. He's one of the Republicans that is running for governor in equal time. Eric Boucher is running for governor. And there's actually someone else running for governor from Jimmy. I want to say it's Jimmy Buffett, but it's not Jimmy. It's not Jimmy Buffett. Jimmy something from Carroll County is also running, but I think John's got really nice information on the website. Learn about the candidates. We're in a primary fight, So, and anything else, Josh?
No, that's all I got. Thank you again, Dwight, for having me. David, it was nice to meet you, and I hope you guys turn out well for Virginia. Saw Governor Youngkin speak about I believe about a weekend ago at an event, and he did very well. So
good. Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he's damn good. Good
By
guy.
the way,
Good
Dave,
Yep.
Josh and I were in Baltimore City last Friday night.
Okay.
And by the way, Josh, Dave and I used to work not for Armstrong, thank God. We worked for Paul Weyer, where Armstrong had a TV show on that network.
Yep, little Armstrong.
We also had Major Garrett on that network.
A major bleep hole.
Yeah.
That's right, I said it.
Maybe we should tweet this out to Major Garrett because he's at CBS,
Yeah, he's an odd guy, but everyone, not to interrupt your time, but it seems to me so many people that go into TV are driven by ego. You kind of have to be. And that's...
Well, I'll tell you this. Bill Lind and Brad Keena were the greatest people at Free Congress.
That's true.
Neither one of those guys had an ego.
Yeah, I agree. There's some nice, decent people on TV. There are, but I think a lot of them are the Ted Baxter type, Well, Josh wouldn't know the Ted Baxter example. But.
By the way, what did you think of that clip I sent you, by the way, of News Radio?
Did not get a chance to watch it because I've been out with my girlfriend all day, but I will let you know.
You gotta watch it. It's hilarious.
I
The way
will.
it goes into the how rebel terrorists, anti-empire sentiments.
I'll let you know.
Yeah. Any other thoughts? I gotta send you the Simpsons clip too. Actually, Dave. Josh, if you're done, we can go to Dave now.
Final thoughts. I had my other podcast I've started, which is good, and my Substack. I should have another Substack column up tonight or tomorrow. So it's going to be on Biden and Biden's most recent comments. But yeah, check it out, davidshepard.substack.com. But otherwise, doing good, and I don't know what I'm going to do for the 4th. For fireworks night, probably nothing. Maybe just make an easy night. That's about it.
Okay, before I start, Josh, I want to share something because this is from your part of town. I think you'll get a big kick out of it.
Cheer up, honey. We're headed to the one place that can never decline because it was never that great. Upstate New York. Start watching Fox News. Stop watching your weight. There is no fancy part of it. Upstate New York. They're fond of their booze. Hot wing sauce is great. I'm gonna clog my heart in it. Upstate New York. I wanna sleep in a city that never waits and find I'm fitting right in one of the gates. Par for the course. The Kodak plant closed, but I'm along interstate and go on disability in upstate New York. Can't make it anywhere, but I can make it there. I love you so. Upstate New York. Benedict Arnold fought here, baby.
Yep, pretty much. That's how it goes.
I figured you get a kick out of that. So, it's my turn for final thoughts. Check out the Montgomery County Republican Club website. We've got some awesome stuff on there. I think we just lost Josh. That or he's rolling on the floor laughing from the video we just shared. But we've got, he's back. Basically, check out, we got some great new articles going on. Remember, Marylanders, a lot of new fees, and wait till you see it. I say don't open your electric bills unless you're sitting down. It's going to be a little high, a lot high, and the rebates aren't coming till maybe December. So you get what you vote for. And Dave, what's the name of your book?
Elections have consequences.
There you go, Maryland. Elections have consequences. But help is on the way. Help is on the way. It's called 2026. We can vote Westmore out of here. Also, happy Independence Day to everyone. Be safe. The big show in DC starts in about an hour. And it's a great, and it hope you don't run into any of the No Kings people out there. They're a little insane, you know.
Don't you think not to interrupt your time, but don't you think they appreciate the irony that we're celebrating getting rid of a king, the British king, and yet they're comparing an American president to a king?
Yeah, they are. And also for all of our Maryland, Virginia, Baltimore County friends, Go out to Masoni's out there in Perry Hall, Maryland. There's great food, great environment, wonderful place. And the ice cream is homemade daily. It is better, dare I say it, than the University of Maryland Creamery ice cream. Thank you, everyone, and good night. And thank you, Dr. Knack, for sitting in. And we'd love to have you back on as many times as you'd like to come on. Good night, everyone.
Good night.
Good night, y'all.
Good night, Marilyn.